We'll start probably in a couple of minutes. So please settle down, and if you want to go to the washroom, please go right now. Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Vandana to Bhantes. So I'm really happy to see everyone here for this Dhamma session. That's what I would like to call. We all seek peace in our life. Everything we do, we're trying to. The reason we do anything, even coming here or trying to do meditation or anything you do in life, you're trying to seek happiness, you're trying to seek joy in life, right? So I would like to tell very briefly about my story. Since my childhood, I was very inquisitive. I always questioned everything we do in our life, especially in terms of our rituals, the culture, the religion, and everything. It seems to be very complicated. I went to a Christian school, so they taught something else. If you look at the differences, you see the differences in all religions. But if you look at the core values, they're all trying to tell the same thing. But I was asking everything that we do, the rituals, the things written in our script, in our religious books, and everything. So I was a little confused, and for me, being a rational person, I can never convince with so many things. But then, in 1999, just a few years before I came here, I went to Vipassana course for 10 days. My wife actually forced me to go, so at that time I wasn't really interested, to be honest. So I went there. So a couple of days I struggled because I didn't go with my, whole intention or with my intention to learn something. But as I sit there and try to learn Vipassana, it seems to be very simple, actually. We made it very complicated. I think the religion is all about trying to make a human being a better human being. So when I went there for 10 days course, I came to know how do I put this? Buddha was way ahead of his time. Way ahead. Imagine 2,500 years ago when he was trying to tell people that in order for you to get enlightened, or whatever you call it, to get out of your suffering, these are the things you need to do. It's nothing about rituals. It's nothing about praying to God. It's about things that he discovered, that you walk on this path. He said that don't even believe me. Don't even believe anybody unless you put that in practice, and then you get the sense of it. Then you realize, with the experience level, that's how you learn. You cannot learn swimming by reading books. You got to jump into the pool. So that's how it is. And I'm so glad that we are here to do exactly the same. That is to learn the first part of meditation, which is the awareness, anapana. And we are so lucky to have Bhante here with us. And actually it was with his initiation, he called me and he said, I would like to give this a Dhamma talk and then the instruction of this meditation in the Nepali community. And the time wasn't, I thought we couldn't do it before he leaves for Sri Lanka in April. But we did it with the help of Nami and the NECASE, of course, with the hall and everything. It was really, everything come together, and I'm so happy that we're all here. So the one thing that I really, it's my personal opinion, but I think The reason the Buddha's teaching is so popular everywhere in the world right now is because it works. I always give an example, you probably heard a lot about being a leader, how you can be emotionally intelligent and all those things. Like if you get angry, count 10, and then your anger, so that your anger will be, either it will subside or it will be gone. But how many people has that awareness when you are mad, suddenly you're like, oh yeah, I have to count 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't happen that way. You have to practice the awareness. If you are aware, oh, I'm getting mad right now, then only you can do rest of the technique. You can learn everything in this world, but if you don't have the awareness at that very moment, nothing can stop. Your emotional brain can take you everything away. As soon as you have the awareness, your logical brain will work. You're switching from your emotional brain to your logical brain. And imagine this technique was discovered 2,500 years back. That is something, like that's why I call Buddha the scientist who discovered how the mind and body works. So we are very fortunate, and we should feel very fortunate to learn this technique, at least the Anapana portion, which is part of one step, the very first baby step towards you can call it nirvana, or the enlightenment, or whatever the Buddha's, the ultimate, the point that he reached. So I don't want to talk a lot, so it's a session to practice. So before that, I would like to introduce our Bhantes here. So Suseela Bhante, on your right side, he's a celebrity monk since 1995. Also a spiritual director at Alberta Buddhist Vihar Association, and he's a chief research monk at Alberta Insight Meditation AIMS, and also he's a Buddhist chaplain at NATE as well, and he was at the UFA as well. So currently he's providing spiritual support to the practitioners in India, Malaysia, Singapore, Calgary, and of course in Alberta. And we have another Bhante, Satindriya. We're supposed to have the Mitra Bhante, but I think he's sick, so he couldn't make it. Before I hand over this to our Venerable Monk Suseela, I just want to talk a little bit about logistics. So once we start the meditation, we want absolute silence. So please try to be as silent as possible. And you can sit in any comfortable position, whichever position you like. If you can move, I think. But what I'm trying to say is just, put your phone in silence, and because when you practice, you need to maintain noble silence. So noble silence means silence from your gesture, silence from your words, silence from your mind. So the most challenging is the mind part. That's what we are trying to do today. So hopefully this will really bring about a slow change. Like eventually it will change you and it will help you in your life. That's why we're here. If it doesn't help, then it's no point, right? Just taking the session. And again, what I emphasize is practice is the most important thing. You cannot just dive into the pool and take few, splash and say, well, I learned swimming, I know how to swim. No, you got to practice every day. So that's when the fruit will start to yield. And with that, I would like Rumi, can you please give a khada? So this is our culture Monday, so we'll offer a khada as a gesture of your gratitude to both the monks. Yeah. Okay, so I will let Bhante Suseela.
Good evening, everyone. Namaste. it is very happy to be here. And Ravindra and Pratibha are friends. And there are some other friends as well who visit the temple most of the time. And once we met, I requested, shall we have a meditation session, maybe an introduction session to your community here in Edmonton. And he was impressed, and we had been communicating about this, and then finally we are here today. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for the housekeeping. And now we are ready to start our program. So in order to start the program, let's observe 5 precepts. Probably you may not be familiar with that, but there are many people who observe 5 precepts and who are familiar with, and they can initiate. And let's observe 5 precepts, then we can start the meditation. Please recite Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Saranaгаmanam sampunnam. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinādana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kāmesu micchācārā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Suramere majjapama dattana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Thank you, Bhante. So, dear Dhamma friends, as Rabindra mentioned that about the human life, the human nature, today we are going to understand and try to investigate ourselves as a human, how we can find true happiness within us. When we talk about meditation, for some people, meditation is a boring topic. And for some people, it's very interesting. Why is that? We do have different experiences, different abilities, different lifestyle. Even for spouses and parents and children, they do have different opinions of the life. So as kids, like around 10, 11 years old, then there's so much obey to parents, and we have to too, right? We did the same thing. Then when they grow up, when they are having different opinions and thoughts and different experiences from the society and from personal life and from everything, then we start to think differently. And for your experience in 1999, right? So that is your youth. Well, I was a kid.
Yeah.
Then, see, that's your experience at that time. How about now, today? It's completely different because gradually we getting mature. Then we think differently. And sometimes not. Sometimes children or kids have better idea than parents. Sometimes they think parents are outdated because they don't have outdated things, right? But kids are updated with the technology too. Anyway, whatsoever, still we have to deal with our mind. No matter who we are, what we are. A few years ago, when I was in the States, a person came to me and he wanted to get a blessing string. I asked why. Because you gave me one before, then right after that, I got a job because he was waiting for jobs. Then I thought, why can't do miracles? Then he wanted to have another one. Then anyway, so we had a pretty long conversation about. Then he was expressing his idea about the technology and how many things can be done by this today's technology. And he said, in the future there will be more. He was emphasizing it. Then I wanted to teach a lesson to him. I asked, did you eat your lunch? He said, yes. I Yes, what did you eat? An iPhone? Or maybe a MacBook? What did you eat for lunch? And he said, food. I asked, where is food coming from? Is it from a MacBook? Or iPad? No. From the ground. From the earth. No matter who we are, in order to survive, still we have to consume the earth. What is coming from the earth. We can escape from it. What's the meaning of that? We are part of this original nature, true nature, not about this developing technology. We don't hate to technology, we need to be wise to use it. But still we have to think about where we live and what is this nature provides us. So we also part of this nature. We are in the nature. The Buddha coming from the original nature. That's why he talks about the reality. Nobody created him. And nobody created his path. And he did not create a path for others. He showed what he was doing to calm down and relax himself. Then he showed what he achieved after his practice. Then he taught it to the community. If anyone is interested in, then they may follow it. Just see. No matter what, we can stop aging. We can stop sicknesses. We can stop these all the natural disasters. So we can stop anything in the world because they are not in our hand. We think man makes everything, right? Yes, these things are man-made. But who made the man? The mind made the man. The mind made the man. So to build this type of building or this structure, these materials, they did not exist by itself. Someone did it. Where was the first step? It's from the mind. Then we draw the map. Then we build it. That is how we exist. So why we are here as a human? Do you believe the river? So we came from somewhere else to this human world. Right? Then after we died here, we will leave and have another life. Could be a human life, could be something else. Then, who creates that? Why we are here? Because we have been developing human qualities to be a human. See the differentiates in the human world? Some people are poor, some people are rich, some are in the middle, some are educated, some are not. Different styles, different experiences. Why that? If everything is equal, then equal things should happen to everyone. Why this effect differently? Because of we have done different type of karma in our previous lives, even in this life. Then good karma brings happiness. Negative karma, the bad karma brings unhappiness. So why I mentioned the mind made the man, because the Buddha taught us mind precedes everything. And everything is mind made. To set up this environment today, who made it? I did not send it. Nobody sent it. You gathered and did it. Then, if you didn't have an intention, nothing appears. Then, if someone speaks or act bodily actions, act with a pure mind, a clean mind. Mind makes everything, mind precedes everything, and mind is the major or the chief. Then if someone speaks or acts with a pure mind, with a clean mind, with a good mind, then that good action will bring more happiness, more calmness, more relaxation. Then think about the opposite. Mind creates and mind decides everything. If someone acts or speaks with an impure mind, with a dirty mind, that negative actions will bring unhappiness. Then that brings the tension, stress, all the disasters. See, this very lengthy topic if we start to talk, but briefly, we created all these troubles to the nature. Now we categorizing things. Okay, we have to separate garbage, polythenes and plastic and everything, because it harms to the nature. Who made it? This mind made it. Now the mind cannot control the disaster. We have to work hard. We make all the troubles. We make all the miserable things to our life. Then we try to sort it out. It's difficult. That's why it's so hard to focus on the mind. Okay. That's the nature. Then we are advised to focus on the mind. Who has the experience of meditation? Can you tell me? Good. If you don't have any experience, that's much better. You know why? When people don't know anything, it's easy to teach. When we are full, then it overflows. It's hard to put something else in it. I can share a story, a Zen story. Probably you might know this. There was a mountain, and there's a temple on the top of the mountain. There's a university underneath, around the mountain. There's a scholar at that university, and he notices every time people climb the mountain and go to the temple, nobody comes to the university. He was curious. He wanted to go to see the temple and what is going on there. Then he went and he knocked on the door. Then the monk opened the door and just closed it, slapped it. And the professor was so upset. He thought that's a bad monk. And he left. He thought I will never these people are going there. Then again he wanted to go and check it out. Then he went there and same thing happened. And again after a while, he changed his mind and went back. Then that time the monk opened the door and requested to sit. Then they sat down and there was a teapot. And the monk started to share tea, green tea, that's a tradition. And he started to pour the tiny cup. And he kept pouring it and it overflows. Then the professor asked, "Hey, stop, don't you see it's overflowing? Are you mad?" Then the monk stopped. Then he asked, "Did you understand it? When it is completely full, we can't put anything there because it overflows." Then the professor realized, I should have an empty mind if I want to learn something else. If we go with a pre-judgment, we get nothing. Even to see, if you, probably when you're young, even today would be, if you go to see your fiancé or your lovers, if you go with a pre-judgment, or this person should be this and that, and they should be like this, in this way. If we have that judgment, that intention beforehand, when we reach that person, if we don't meet that expectations, we have to be frustrated. We have to be worried. Don't you believe that? That happens to us. So therefore, we have to face to the present moment. What appears there, what exists there. Therefore, we need to have a storage, enough capacity to bear certain things. So therefore, you know why I'm telling this? The mind is having an unbelievable capacity. And it has maybe thousands of years experiences, maybe in the future. How many things we store there? And why we think meditation is so hard and difficult? When we sit and close the eyes, then we don't experience the other things. Then what happened? All the previous experiences come to be with us. They start filming. You just watch a movie. Then that person said to me that and this, and that person like that, and so forth. Right? So many things popping in the mind. Then in few minutes we just stop. Right? My mind is distracted, disturbing me, hurting me. Who made it? Somebody? No, I did it for myself. Therefore, if I want to be mindful or in the present moment, who should be in the present moment? Myself. Can someone else practice for me? Because who's the mind? It's my mind. Who decides? I decide. Who can control it? I can control it. No one can control it. We can just go around with a stick and beat, asking to control. But it is our personal responsibility. Then who makes this stress? At work or at school or at home or whatever? Who makes it? We do. Who make the tension? Absolutely, the outer experiences are objects to get stress and tension and everything, but they are stressful as long as we accept them. If we do not accept, it is not an objection. There is no distraction. So therefore, these are the very basic idea about the meditation if you haven't done the meditation. Meditation is not only a sitting practice. Meditation means it's a practice that we can apply with each and everything. Even now, if you listen mindfully, that's a part of meditation. And if you drive mindfully, it's a part of meditation. If you eat mindfully, that's a part of meditation. And do you think that we should be mindful about only good things? Children, do you think we should be mindful only about bad things or good things? Well, if you are unmindful about bad things, how do you could know they are bad? They are having bad outcomes, negative outcomes. If we do not know, if we are unmindful about the goodness, then how do we develop them? Then we have to question ourselves. Then, whether it is good or bad, we need to be aware of it and mindful about it. That's how we develop the mind. So, mind creates the foundation. Then we talk according to it. Then we act according to it. Then karma begins there. Then, if we purify our mind, our thoughts, our words, and the bodily actions, then we call it a moral person. If we do the opposite of it, we call that person as an immoral person. So the immoralities will bring unhappiness, not hereafter, even in this very life. Then moralities, the good behaviors will bring happiness, not hereafter, in this very life. Because we have the past, the present, and the future. What we do in the past, we did in the past, that continues to bring the result in the future. What we do here in the present moment, that will travel to the future and will bring more consequences despite of its nature. So therefore, as a human, no need to come to a temple or no need to gather as a group to meditate or to relax ourselves all the time. We could do it at our home, at our working place. Maybe if you take the bus, you can meditate, but don't remember and don't forget, do not drive, so do not meditate while we are driving. You can meditate, but don't close eyes. Yeah. So, this is the environment of meditation. So today, we'll do two things. First, we will observe the mind. Then, while we are observing, then we will move to observe the breath. I will guide you through it. Then, we will do some metta, loving kindness radiation. We can radiate, release loving thoughts around us and the universe. Then we can spend a few minutes if you have any questions. And then, end of the program, we will do small blessing chanting go. Then, now we can start. Please find a better posture for you. And you can stretch yourself and change your posture and find a good posture and sit comfortably. We call this is easy posture. Yeah. Especially children can sit because young people can sit because they are too young. But no one is old here, right? Everyone is young. Yeah. This is lotus posture. Stay steady. You know what? When we sit like this, our backside is upright and straight, and we don't hurt. There are 4 postures. Yeah. So we can relax, hands on the knees or maybe on your lap, right hand over left. Yeah. So maybe you can sit there too. Thank you. Is that your sister? Follow her. That's good too. Yeah, so mostly for children, they do sports, right? And they're flexible, and still too young, they can do it. Okay. Oh, it's getting old, huh? Okay, please sit comfortably. You can relax your hands on your lap, right hand over left, or on your knees. Gently close your eyes. We need to be very gentle and humble and authentic with our practice. Take a deep breath and hold it for a second and release it. Again, release it. And again. Now, let's scan through the body from top to bottom. Focus the head, the backside of the head, and the forehead, eyebrows, the nose, the eyes, ears, the face, the chin, the neck, shoulders, the backside of the body, the elbows, the wrist, and the fingers, and the entire hands, the chest, the abdomen, the belly, and the hip, the leg, knees, ankles, and feet, and release the tension, release the stress, If you have any pain on the body, just notice it and let it go. Now you may look at your mind. Mostly the mind wanders to the past and stay with something else in the past. Try to bring anything to the present moment and live with it. If the mind is in the past, don't bring anything from it, just take it back. Sometimes the mind wanders to the future. If mind wanders in the future, don't take it anything, just get the mind back to the present moment. We can think that I am here and now. I am in the present moment. You can slowly bring your mind, the attention, in front of your face, around your lips or the tip of the nose. This is an imagination. Try your best to stay in the present moment. If thoughts arise, notice it and let it go. Do not try to make stories with thoughts. If mind wanders, notice it, slowly bring the mind back and observe the mind. At this moment, we need to be very gentle and very humble and patient with the mind. We need to be careful with the mind. We have to take care of it, like we taking care of an infant, a newly born baby, without rushing, without hurting. We humbly, gently, and softly and mindfully, we observe the mind. Keep your mind around the lips or the tip of the nose. Breathe naturally. Mindfully, I breathe in. Mindfully, I breathe out. Don't be a doer, be an observer. The breath is natural. We don't take it in or out. It has a natural flow, natural process. We observe it. Breathe naturally. I breathe in mindfully. I breathe out mindfully. If you are mindful about the breath, you will see the long breath in and out. Experience the long breath. Do not make it long, just observe the nature. And remember, we need respect to the practice and others without disturbing, making any noise. If you are focused and mindful, if you saw the long breath, if mind is relaxing, you will experience the short breath. We can make it short, but the nature is getting shorter. Observe as much as you can. Experience the entire breath. It's getting getting shorter and in and out without missing any of them. If you have more thoughts or less thoughts coming in, if you focus and mindful, you can experience the silent breath. The breath is getting subtler and silent. If you are fully aware and if you find any settlement and relaxation in the mind, you can be happy about it. If the breath is silent and soft, that's the nature. Don't try to find the hardness of it. Now you can slowly open your eyes. If you want to stretch yourself, you may stand up and then open your eyes. Teachers, non-kings, pets, neighbors, everyone who living in this city and neighboring cities, in this province, outer province, in this country, in the neighboring countries, the entire world. Whoever live there may be weak or strong, large, low, medium, tall or short. And stout. Living near or far. Seen or unseen, born or yet to be born. May all living beings be well. May all living beings be happy. May all living beings be at peace. May all living beings be healthy. May all living beings be safe. May all living beings be patient. May they be free from anger, hatred, ill will, fear, and aversion. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they be free from suffering. May all living beings be well. Now you may radiate, release unlimited loving thoughts, unconditional loving thoughts towards the whole universe. May all living beings in this universe be well. From the bottom of the heart, release this kind-heartedness. If you are really focused, you can see the relaxed mind, the tranquilized body. You can feel it. Your body chemistry might be changed now. And it's more relaxed and calm and settled. And this atmosphere also getting settled and relaxed. Now you can open your eyes and you can be seated. So it is almost 8. I would answer a couple of questions if you don't have any concerns about the meditation, maybe not academic things or the other things. If you have anything about the practice, if you would like to, please go ahead. So, your mom said that usually people have monkey mind, right? What is the meaning of monkey mind? The mind which is unsettled and impure and stressful and tension, and that's the monkey mind. And it can stay at a place, it runs. And we have another term for the mind. The mind is fickle, not the pickle. But we know how to make pickle, right? So many things put together and make a pickle. Actually, mind also like a pickle, but it's fickle. Fickle means like monkey mind. It can stay still and it move. Then, with that instability and with the unsettled mind, we have thoughts, angry thoughts, and thoughts about desire, craving, lust, hatred, and aversion, resentments, and ignorance, and everything. So these thoughts brings more unhappy thoughts into ourselves. Sometimes we want to eat, sometimes we want to steal, sometimes we want to kill, sometimes we want to lie. And those thoughts brings intoxication in the mind. Then mind will pollute. That pollution can be a distraction. So that's why sometimes we can focus on the studies. And sometimes that's why we don't want to do those things, because we don't like it. With that unsettled mind, then we regenerate those thoughts within, right? Again and again and again. And keep doing nothing. And we can sleep. And we worry about sleep. And we worry about our day. And we make bad friends and unfriends, non-friends most of the time, because we make bad environment for us. And what happens? We make a bad or dirty mind. Out of that we speak. Then we release harmful words, hurtful words, painful words. Don't we do that? We do. Sometimes we talk, then others hurt. Right? People will hurt. Then, if we keep this unsettled mind or the dirty mind, then we act, physically act. Then the killing come to be, stealing come to be, all the other misbehaviors come to be. We lie and we gossip, and everything come to be because of the impurity of the mind that we call monkey mind, fickle mind, pickle mind, and dirty mind. That brings. So if we talk, if we physically act or mentally act means we keep thinking. Those brings bad outcomes. How they bring? If we are too stressful, if we can focus on studies, then the exams will not get enough results for the future. And your working place will not be a pleasant place for you. And your parents will not be pleasant for you because the way how you think. And even animal will be upset with us. And nobody smiles with us. Those are bad outcomes of dirty mind. It's not only about children, it's about adults as well. So therefore, we better, or we need to be wise to have a clean and pure mind, in order to get more good results, good consequences, outcomes. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's a good question. Which way are you going? So, yes,
so we all know that anger is not a good solution for any family or anything. But even though we know anger is a bad thing to, getting angry is a bad thing to do, but sometimes we lose control of that, even though we know it. So what would be another practice to stay on top of that, not to get angry?
Right. So usually, if a dog bites us, we don't bite back, right? Yeah. If someone hits us, we don't hit back, because that is not our practice, and we know it. And you know what is the important thing is of your question? You know what is anger. Many people do not know what is anger. Even they don't recognize it. They just react to it. We do have a quick reaction for everything. We hurry to say things. We hurry to react for things. That's really bad thing. We could react, but my suggestion is delay your reaction between your experience and yourself. Delayed reaction will bring a good reaction. Simply, we say, take a breath before you react. Then, if you have to react, just do it. But be mindful. Even we can get angry mindfully. And sometimes, I know mothers and parents mostly do it, right? They show anger, but they don't have it inside. That's how they manipulate kids. But there are many answers for that. According to the practice that I follow, what we are asked to do is, first we need to recognize anger as anger, whatever the experience. This is happened to us. Before we know anger as anger, we just let it pass and react to it. Then later we recognize, oh, I did something bad. That is good, because even later we recognize it. Then we know we should not react badly to anger. Then, when it appears, now be aware of it. Why? We know it is going to be bad. Then we have to keep practicing it. Knowing we have to face it. Then, if we are good with it, later, when it appears, before it comes to be, we can recognize beforehand. Then we know how to control it. And there's another step. If we keep practicing the metta, loving kindness, compassion, and all this goodness, anger will disappear permanently without doing any harm. There are few stages in the practice if you really do it. But as a beginner or as a practitioner, the patience is the best practice ever that we get taught. And anger is not something else that we cannot uproot at once and cut it off. And metta practice is the best answer for it. But all the time we cannot sit when anger comes, right? We just sit and practice metta. When we get up, when anger comes back, then we might have a proper solution. I can do another teaching what Buddha advised to us, we need to practice opposite of it. See, if I get able towards you, then I try to compare yourself and myself to them. This is how we do it. Oh. I'm in the samsara. You know what is samsara? The cycle of the birth. That person also in the samsara. Yes, in the boat, they are in the same boat. Then that person born to this world, and I also. And that person suffers from many things. I also suffer from many things. Then we compare the karmic facts. Then what happens? There is no reasons to get angry with us. Why? Because we are in the same condition. You fight for the life, I fight for the life. What's the difference between us? Maybe you work hard, you may have a little more money. I don't work hard, then I have little money. What's the difference? Finally, we eat, we sleep, right? We work, we deal with the community, with the world. Finally, we all die. If we cannot think in that way, then we keep fighting and getting those unwholesome thoughts within us again and again and again. The best thing is you know anger as anger when it is coming. Then you know it is harmful. And you know how to react to it. The only answer is for that. We have to keep working on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you meditate, will you be able to put that alarm so that you can come back to the previous state? Or what if you get lost?
An alarm, right? So, if we set up an alarm, so for how many minutes was the gap between these segments? It could be a distraction sometimes, because we are waiting for the alarm. There is no such answer. Sometimes people burn incense while they are meditating. They can, come back to the stage where they are, but setting an alarm might not be a good practice because that can be a distraction while you are meditating. Well, there are many alarms. Do you sit for 3 hours sometimes for meditation? You did. Okay. So did you mean that the mind goes somewhere else then you have to bring it back? Is that you meant? Well, as long as we are alive, the mind will come back. And so without discussing what you practice, I could not answer directly yes or no. That will not be your practice. I have sat for 3 hours sometimes. And I just enjoy it. But I fully aware of where I am. If we are unaware of the mind at any of the stage of the meditation, then we lose the mindfulness there. Completely we need to be aware of it. And awareness will bring you back, but there's no such a rope or something else that we can pull the mind back, like setting an alarm. So this might not be a good answer for your question, but I highly believe that the mind doesn't release from the body when we are meditating. will come at the right moment once we've done the meditation. You know what? At the beginning we have to keep working, then the mind get released, and it stay where it belongs to. Then once the mind is done, it will get back by itself. And no need to worry about pulling it back. And an advice, if you don't have a teacher to guide you, don't try to release your mind anywhere else thinking during the meditation. And because we might have a teacher, a guide, a book, or maybe an audio or a video without a teacher could be a distraction. I have met many people with that experience. We have to be careful. You know why? We can read a book about meditation. If we are stuck somewhere else, can the book answer? No. If we write books about meditation, every day we have to write books. Why? Each time we have a new experience with meditation. And if we write books, we have to keep writing. We don't get enough time to meditate. So for writing this, need to have an experienced teacher if you really want to continue meditation. It is not just like listening to an audio from someone else's on the podcast and maybe reading a couple of pages and doing meditation. And if you trust on that, so that can be a misguidance. Just be careful, because we are dealing with not the body, we are dealing with the mind. If we are distracted or misled the mind, that can bring more harm to the life. Does that make sense? I highly encourage people not to use the books for meditation. Because I have met many people and I had to spend many hours to them to upside down, to put them upside down. Just be careful. Chakra? Third eye? You mean it's like tightening or like lightning? So no. It could be wrong if we meditate to see the lights. It could be wrong if we meditate to see the lights, because if we are fully concentrated or fully aware, we will see many things. Sometimes we see lights, different colors. Sometimes we see different type of images. Even we advise, even Buddha appears during the meditation, just let him go. Why? He can be a distraction. Yeah, because meditation is my personal matter, right? Visualizing things, or if we follow these lights and images or anything, then it is not our object at the moment, right? We have to stay with the meditation object if we really focus. And if we get any that kind of sounds or lights or images or anything, they are some kind of indications of the meditation, but in another hand, they are distractions. And I would say, if you have that kind of experience, it's better not to share with anyone else, because they begin to imagine, then they try to find lies, even through meditation sometimes. Yeah, don't do it. Okay. Anything else?
Anybody has anything else?
One question. Any suggestions or guidance how we can start the day? It's a very busy day, so people say something like we have to start the day really like magazines or we have a topic. But I feel like those things just distract you in your mind. So is there any suggestions that you can provide us as how we can start this, even we have a bad day or like a stressful day on that day, we can manage them in a way that it doesn't bring that stress in our home.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. So, what time you wake up, Swami?
It depends. I don't have any schedule kind of things because since I work in so sometimes if I wake up at 7:30 or sometimes 9. To be honest, sometimes 11:30 also. I'm being honest.
Right.
Because my job pattern is like that.
Oh, do you work at night too?
Yeah, I sometimes work. So I evening, so my schedule are not exact. But whenever I wake up, what should be the right way?
Because I just asked if you wake up early, early in the morning. Early in the morning is the best time for meditation because the environment is very clean and pure, but it's completely different here. I understand that. Sometimes we go to the bed, maybe with our day before experiences, right? Then we have to wake up. Sometimes we get headache, sometimes we get hurt, and with a heavy mind. That's true, even for kids sometimes. There are no fixed solution or suggestion for it, but instead of having that heavy mind, I would suggest, if you are free, if you are not in rush to run to work or anything else, spend a couple of minutes, at least 10-15 minutes, to look at yourself. Actually, I do advise we need to do this before we go to bed. Maybe on bed. You know why? Mostly I advise recollect your day before you go to sleep. And usually, doesn't matter, whenever we get to the bed and we spend few minutes to get sleep time, then we can recollect the mind there, the day, and we know what happened. We can filter out. If we go to sleep with that unhappy conditions, then we sleep unhappily. Then we wake up unhappily too. The result will not be good. Then when you recollect, even if you could find a couple of things that make happiness, I suggest just leave other rest and take that couple of things that makes you happy. Go to the bed, go to sleep with that intentions. Then wake up happy. I'm certain that you will wake up very happy. Then, the other thing that I do before the bed, I turn off my all the phones. Even I unplug the lamp phone too. You know why? I don't want anybody to disturb me. Even my mother died while I am sleeping, I am sleeping. Someone will call me middle of the night to inform that I can give the life back to her. But I will sleep. Whenever I wake up, I will turn on my phone. I will respond very wisely, depending on my time. So therefore, the phone, the devices could be a big distraction for sleeping sometimes. And you know what? there's a family in the US. They have 2 kids and parents. And father's recommendation for kids and everyone, even for himself, everyone needs to leave the laptops and all the devices in the kitchen table, on the kitchen table before going to bed. No one can take anything to the room. And they sleep very well and wake up early. So, if you make your sleep peaceful before you go to bed, then you will wake up peaceful. Then, just usually drink or tea or coffee or water, whatever you do in your routine, that's okay. If you could sit, not on the bed, somewhere else in your house, and peacefully and relaxedly, if you could focus on your mind only, this is not only for her, for everyone, but I'm focusing on her, and if you could focus on your mind, you know you will have a busy day. Business system, like we can run it, escape. And if you could focus and determine yourself not to get angry, not to get frustrated, not to get stressed, not to get worried, and no matter what, if you could think about yourself mindfully and compassionately. How many of us are compassionate to yourself? Mostly no. Why? We have many times to spend for others and we don't have time for us. You know what's the best time for us? The washroom. Yeah, the washroom is the best time for us. Nobody disturbs. Sometimes, you know, I just go and sit there maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Nobody knocks on me. And if you have just only one washroom, just be careful with others. But that's a good solution. I mean, we have to be kind and love ourselves. We need to love ourselves. Main reason we don't love ourselves. We don't compassionate to ourselves. We don't think about ourselves. So just spend few minutes, at least 10-15 minutes to think about yourself. Just forget about your kids and the spouse and everything. Be yourself. And actually the happiness does not come from outside. It's here. Nobody can make it. We have to create happiness. I did not answer your question, but I just say something else. You may find some portions from there actually. Thank you. Are we done? So, we will recite a couple of stanzas for the lesson. Yeah, so if you have any concerns, maybe we can meet another time, sometime soon or later. And if you need any support for meditation, I could help at the temple or maybe from a phone or anything else, you can decide it. And it's very we are very pleasure to have be here and with you. And thank you for the real engagement. Most of the time we don't get this interaction. And thank you for the questions. So that break brought many awareness to the practice. So thank you for being here. Now, Bhante is going to recite few stanzas to bless you by the power of these recitals, by the power of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, by the power of our practice. May all the misfortunes stay away from you. Miserable things stay away from you. All the good things and the happiness be with you. And may you be well, happy and peaceful. With that intention, we will be reciting. Please keep your palm together, close your eyes, mindfully listen to this chanting. Pitiyo vivajjantu sabba rogo vinassatu Mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi dikayuko bhava Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata Sabba buddhanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata Sabba dhammanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata Sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Dukkha patta ca nidukkha bhaya patta ca nibbhaya Soka patta ca nissoka Hontu sabbe piparino Sadhu.
So we are coming to the end of our program, but before you guys leave, we have a last session. Don't worry, it's not a session. So there is a QR code. So if you just bring your cell phone and scan the QR code, we have a survey questions. There are only 4 or 5 questions. So could you please answer those? Those are the feedback for us for our next session. So the other thing is, Bhante is actually, though he's leaving for Sri Lanka in April, I think once he's back, he is interested to get the session going for a regular interval as well, if you're interested. So some of the questions are actually regarding those. So once we get the feedback, we know what you guys are interested in. I would like to thank you, Bhante Suseela, and the other Bhante as well. This is a very good session. We are very thankful to you. And also thank you everyone for coming here. And I really hope you will utilize this in your daily life, and it will definitely help you. As Bhante said, for every question, there's no magic bullet for anything. It's always practice, practice, and practice. That's the only thing. So I think, and as Bhante rightly said, you need a guidance. Then Bhante is there. You can always get his help. So I didn't see anybody scanning yet. Can you guys do it, please? Because this will really help us. And I would really like to thank NECASE, that's our Nepalese Canadian Association. This is our building, for providing this facility. It's very easy, we have the mats and everything, and I really wish to thank everyone, and especially Nami for doing all the coordination work, and our NECASE members, everyone here who supported for this program. And I hope to have more of this in coming future as well. And we might have, I think 1 hour is not probably good enough. I think, I really wish we could stretch this a little longer, but we have a time constraint, so next time I think we'll have a little longer session. And thank you everyone. I think people who are not used to with the word sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. In Nepali we also have a word sadhu, means actually a monk or kind of like a Hindu monk, but sadhu, actually the original meaning was well said, well said, well said. That's what it means. When they said, may all be happy, we'll just repeat saying, yeah, well said, well said. I think that's the meaning, right?
saying sadhu means end of a program. If we say sadhu, that means we accept what we heard or what we discussed.